What's up everyone, this is Link1028 here, and I have spent a long time playing Craftopia, and one of my favorite things to do in this game is to start brand new runs for trying out different builds and also for starting challenge runs. In Craftopia, you have a lot of freedom for how you can build your own character, and I love making a fresh new save for every idea that pops into my mind. As such, I've spent a lot of time exploring this first area of Craftopia, the Giza Plateau, and today I want to share with you guys some of the top tips for what you should do in this plateau area, including how you can get your hands on late game gear right at the start of the game. The scope of this video will only be covering the first area that you spawn in, the Giza Plateau, and will only cover the first two age evolutions. However, there is a lot you can do in just this area, so with that out of the way, let's make a new character and load up a fresh run of Craftopia. After you boot up your world, make your way out of the starting cave, and the next thing you'll want to do is take this path down to the right, grab the torch from this chest, and make your way down to the village. Here you can meet a lot of NPCs, which include merchants, farmers, as well as Camille, the first quest giver and formerly the most important character in the game. As Craftopia is right now, sadly Camille is just a little bit useless. Anyways, the main tip that I have for you in this area is to just go and take all of their stuff. You're free to take the workbench, the cooking pot, their plots of farmland, and everything else you see in this area, and no one will stop you. This saves us the effort of crafting all these items for ourselves and allows us to have all of our crafting stations a bit more centralized whenever we go out and build our base. For the first quest in the game, Camille will ask you to go and rebuild the tower that's across from the lake, which is a great idea, but there's something else that we're going to do just before that. What you're really going to want to do is jump off of the plateau and head down this path up until you find this well. This well is extremely important to your success in Craftopia, so you're going to want to take it and keep it safe. The reason why this well is so important is because 1, you need to unlock the well recipe before you can craft it for yourself, which means it's going to take a sec to get it any other way, and 2, because water is extremely important in Craftopia. Later game quests and crafting recipes may ask for an extremely large amount of water or clay, and the problem with water is that it's super slow to craft. So go get your hands on this well, place it down in your base, and get into the habit of grabbing water from it every time it's full, no matter what. Keep water crafting and cooking pots 24/7, starting from now, and that will save you a lot of headache later on. For that reason, I recommend having multiple cooking pots just for making water, around 4 to 5, and then just an extra one for your normal cooking that you're going to do. Of course, with such a strong need for water, it would make sense to automate this process. However, since that's not available at the start of the game, we won't be covering anything related to automation in this video. Of course, with all this talk about crafting, it makes sense to go out and get your base set up, which is simply somewhere safe that allows you to store items, craft, and farm resources in peace. As for how and where to make a base, I don't really have any strong recommendations for what you should do. You can always craft a sanctuary banner from the furniture crafting table that disables mob spawns, so theoretically you could make a base wherever you want. The one thing I will recommend for you to do is to build your base somewhere close to a fast travel point, as in Craftopia you don't have the freedom to fast travel whenever you want. This means that you should pretty much always want to build your base close to either a tower or a warp portal. The first tower that Camille asked us to repair will work just fine for the base that we'll be building today. What's great about this spot is that it's close to the village, fishing spots, and a variety of different animals that we can farm if we ever need food or leather. After all that is set up, build the tower and complete the first quest. As a reward for completing that quest, Camille will give us a set of items that we can use to complete the first age evolution. With every age evolution, more crafting recipes get unlocked, including new crafting stations, new automation options, weapons, armor, and accessories. Then, as a reward for that second quest, Camille will give you a motorcycle, which is honestly probably the best quest reward you're ever going to get in this whole game. Thank you so much, Camille. Maybe, just maybe, you still are the most important character in this game. This bike is super useful for traveling long stretches of ground quickly, and it even features additional storage space. This bike is a lot more stable than it used to be when the Seamless update first came out, but you still need to be careful with it around water and slopes. It's a good practice to just pick the bike up every time you stop using it, since it'll be a while before you can get your hands on another one. We're now pretty well put together here, but there's still a handful more things I want to mention before you head out and start exploring the rest of the plateau, where we'll find our late game gear. The next thing I highly recommend for anyone to do, no matter what the build is to craft a bow and then keep that bow on your person at all times. The bow is extremely useful for hunting skittish animals like deer, as well as a necessity to complete the sniping challenges found out and about at altars all across Craftopia. Also, if you're playing on a higher difficulty, you may find it difficult to hunt anything at all since even the animals become bullet sponges that take a minute to kill. But so long as you have a bow, you can one-shot animals like cows and sheep with a headshot, even on very hard mode. The next thing I want to review is skills. Craftopia offers over 100 different unique skills split over 6 skill trees, including basic physical and magical attacks, buffs, healing, invisibility, and even decoys. There's both active and passive skills that you can use in Craftopia, and I'm not about to go over every skill, but I do just want to let you know how to use active skills. To use active skills, you have to drag them down to your hotbar from the skill menu, then scroll over them, then use the equip button, which is the middle mouse by default, to use them. This isn't too intuitive of a system, and I know a guy who could not for the life of him figure it out by himself, so I just wanted to let you guys know. With that, you're free to walk around the plateau and explore it at your leisure, but while you're doing so, you should keep 2 key items in mind, one of which is sweet berries, and the other one is goblin clubs. The thing about the goblin clubs is that there's going to be a later quest that's going to ask you to collect at least 3 of them, and they're kind of a rare drop. Furthermore, for whatever reason, the stronger goblins that are from the area that gives you that quest won't actually drop the right goblin clubs that you need for that quest. Therefore, if you don't start storing them up now, it's going to take maybe an hour or more to grind it out for yourself later. As for the berries, there's a quest right here in the plateau that asks for 30 medicinal herbs, which means you have to collect from at least 30 different berry bushes to complete that quest. So you immediately want to get into the habit of grabbing berries from every bush that you see, even past the point that you have enough, because of course, after you turn that quest in, you won't have any medicinal herbs for yourself. Alright, so now we're going to be talking about a few key pieces of gear that you should pick up from right here in the plateau region. You're going to get all this gear from various treasure chests that are scattered across Craftopia. The first chest you're going to want to hit is right here behind Camille in the village, which has tin bread. This isn't anything really magical, but it's super convenient to go grab and makes it so that you don't have to worry about food for about an hour or so. So I always grab this chest every time I start a new playthrough. Not too far away from the village, on the cliff to the southeast, you can find a chest with 10 telepotions. This is another easily accessible chest that is an absolute must to navigate the map of Craftopia. They allow you to return to your bed from anywhere in the world and are the only method of on-demand fast travel available in vanilla Craftopia. After these 10 potions are up, the easiest way to get more is to just buy them from the merchant for 100 gold apiece. The next items I want to draw to your attention are these 2 different armor sets. There's one that provides magic attack and one that provides high defense. If you use magic, you should get your hands on the orange cape set, which actually provides more defense than the green cape set, making it easily viable to use beyond the plateau. Otherwise, seek out the red iron armor set, which provides more armor than the craftable black armor set. Both of these armor sets are unique to these chests and can't be crafted, so just keep that in mind before you decide to throw them away. Right beside the red iron armor, we have a set of 5 explosive barrels. These barrels do a lot of damage when they're set off and have a high blast radius. I personally prefer to use them to blow up rocks that hide soul orbs inside, but no matter how you use them, just note that you won't have the ability to craft more of these for a while. Right on top of the cliff, straight up from the red armor set, we have 2 griffin feathers. You can't use these just right now, but right after you unlock the Renaissance Age, you can use these to craft the grief set. Okay, give me a moment. Give me a moment.
Greifseufzer. Greifseufzer.
Yeah, that. which has a late game attack power of 480 along with an attack speed buff. As impressive as that is, it's not the best weapon you can find on this plateau. An even stronger sword lies on the other side of this bridge, guarded by this ballistic Gigantes. If you can get past him, the sword's yours. Thankfully, Craftopia isn't that hard of a game, and there are two ways you can take him down pretty quickly. Both involve exploiting his weak points, which are the two giant glowing circles on his body. In case you weren't able to figure that out for yourself. You can easily target these weak points with a bow, of which at survival difficulty he can't withstand more than 1 or 2 good shots. An alternative method is to use a spear in combination with the skill Dragonfall. Dragonfall works like a pogo stick. So long as you keep hitting the enemy, you'll keep rising higher and higher in the sky, and actually also deal more damage as the skill goes on. From the top of the Gigantes, it's not too hard to hit his weak point, which kills him in about 2 hits. Although, even if you don't get the perfect hit on him, he still goes down pretty quick so long as you can stay on his head. From there, you're free to grab the Mamluk sword, which surpasses even the
Greifseufzer
500 attack. This sword is extremely powerful. At 500, it surpasses even the Adamantite sword, which has made him the strongest metal in the game. However, just note that none of these mentioned swords are the true, undisputed, strongest item in the game, but I aim not to spoil too much for you in this video, so I'm going to keep that a secret. Along with the Mamluk sword, you can also grind the Gigantes in this area for their weapon drops. A large group of these enemies can be found at an island just north of the plateau. If you can get the Gigantes to drop their spear or their bow, you'll have access to more weapons which are on par with the Mamluk sword. Just note that while fighting a Gigantes, you have to absolutely not get hit, as at this level all their attacks will one-shot you, even on a low difficulty like survival. Alright guys, so we're almost at the end of the video here, but there's just a couple more things that I think you should know before you go. Let's start by talking about the Stone Golem quest. There's 3 different Scone Golems? Scone Golems win. Am I leaving that in? I might leave that in. Hold up. That's a move right there. Hold on. There's 3 different stone golems in the plateau region, but you only need to kill 1 for the sake of the quest. The golem that I highly recommend you go kill is this one. It's far away from the village, but it's not too far away if you go there right after grabbing the orange cape. And what's great about this golem is that he's surrounded by loads of iron, which I encourage you to grab all of which that you can see, because you're pretty much going to use this iron for everything for the rest of the game. You can't really have too much of it, and I would dare call it one of the top 5 most important resources in Craftopia. The last set of locations that you should absolutely check out are 2 of the 3 caves present in the plateau region. Caves have the ability to have unique content that can only be found inside, so I encourage everyone to complete every cave they come across. With the exception of this cave here, as at the end of it you only get an experience potion, which isn't unique at all, and I theorize may just be a placeholder item for something that'll be added later. The other caves have much better rewards. This one, found close to the bottom of the plateau, has a blueprint of a reaping machine as a reward, which lets you save some time trading for it with the agricultural merchant. The other cave has a completely unique drop, a fighting book of Deceiving Pet, that gives pets the ability to reduce enemy defense. And that concludes all the key bits of information that you need to get a head start on every run of Craftopia. Here's a quick map that I put together that talks about every item mentioned in this video. This map doesn't show everything that there is on this plateau, only the key things that are worth grabbing. However, in the description, I'll leave a link to a map that does. The Craftopia interactive map, made by Steam user Kregap, contains information about absolutely everything you can find in the world of Craftopia. However, I would actually encourage all of you to not use this map, as it'll spoil all of the fun of exploring the world of Craftopia and finding everything for yourself. I myself am a gamer who just loves exploration. It's the main appeal of Craftopia that's drawn me into this game, and with the seamless update that dropped last summer, Craftopia's level design has never been better. Please, go and look over all of the plateau region and explore the rest of this game to your heart's content. Thanks for watching. Leave a like and subscribe if you made it this far in the video, and with that, this is Link1028, signing off. Bye bye.